In this video, I'm going to take a look at the basics of making rows. So the basics, first off, you're going to need 6 orbs, so make sure you do have 6 to make the row with. I'm going to take these 6 and place them in the center here. So what I do to make a row is I'm going to trace into the row that I want to make. So I'm going to find the first empty spot in the row and just trace through the row. Every time I bump into an orb above me or under me, I'm going to turn until it moves that into the row. Then I'm going to jump back into the first empty spot of the row and do it again, like this. Here's the row, I'm going to trace it. There's one above me, hop back in the row. There's one above me, hop back in the row. Now there's one under me. It's just that simple. Let's try it again with these greens. These greens right here. So I'm going to start here. So first thing, I'm going to move over and I'm going to move this down. Here's the first empty spot again. Turn, turn. You notice I had to take an extra maneuver there because I had an orb that wasn't directly above or below the row. And that's what's going to happen. You just take one extra little move to move whatever you need in your row up against your row. So for instance, I could do this before or I could do it during. If I do it during, I'm going to start right here. And if I move, and you don't always have to move into empty direction. You can change directions too. Here I'm going to go left and turn up. Hop back into the empty spot in the row, turn up, down. I'm going to move this in just like that. So sometimes, let's say I wanted to make a row of reds all the way down here, and all my reds were up there. At a time like this, you're going to have to hustle the orb down. And what I mean by hustling is making just this little loop like this so that you move the orb. And you can move an orb anywhere you want, given enough time, like this. And you can hop into Endless and just practice this if you don't already do this. You can just take an orb like this red up in the top left corner, and you can like swim laps with it. And just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can just keep doing that until you get good at it. So let's try making another row real quick. Let's do these blues. This is going to be easy since they're all already almost touching the row. Starting here, I'm going to trace it, turn, trace it, turn, trace it, turn, turn, turn. Now sometimes you end up with configurations like, let's see, what's a good example? Let's say I wanted to make a row of greens up here. Okay? And I'm actually going to pass through to make what you can when you're doing this and you have a bunch lined up together, you can trace through them all and then bring them all into your row almost like a worm, just by tracing through the orbs you want to bring, like this. Trace, 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 like that. And if you end up in a situation, let me actually move these orbs around to show you what I mean. Let's say, oops. Okay, how's this gonna work? Okay, let's say you're in a situation like this, and you're underneath this, and you want to complete this row. All you have to do is move one of these to the left or the right by passing through it, and then you hop into the empty space and continue as normal. So like this, I'm just going to pass through it, hop into its empty space, and complete it. Just like that. Sometimes while you're making the row, this situation will happen too. So again, let me just make this row. See, like here, I have to pass through it and then bring it in. Okay, so that pretty much covers the basics of rows. There's other little situations that will arise, but pretty much by using that, you'll be able to deal with any of them. Now let's go into using a row and a board convert. I'm going to go ahead and pop Sonia, The most ideal board I could have when playing rows is just to be 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's going to be like green, purple, green, purple, green. So all you want to do is work with the color you have the least of. Because when you have 2 colors on the board, the other color goes where your color isn't. So you don't even have to worry about moving it. It'll end up just automatically where you want it to be. Look at the color you have the least of, or find out which one it is. Count it up. So here it looks like purple. I don't even need to count it to make sure, but let's find out how many I have. I have 3, 6, 7, 9. That means I'm going to be making a row with the remainder of 2. So here, I can do what I normally do for the row, and I'm actually going to look at it, do kind of like a regular orb trick with it, where I can picture these 4 orbs here like a box, and by going through it, I can spin the box until these 2 darks are sitting facing down. And then pass through here like that. Spin this around. Okay, let's try the last 2 board converts I got. Let's do one more Sonia. Okay, so here it looks like dark is what I have the least of. I have 3, 6, 3, 6, that's 12 with the remainder of 1. So what I'm going to do here, here's one thing you do have to pay attention to when you're working with boards. You have to make sure when you make a row here that you don't end up on this side of the row. You don't want to end up between your row and the wall, because then you're stuck. So when you're making the row and you turn to go towards an orb, don't make the last one you do be towards the wall, because then that's where you're going to end up. So always try to end up above. So here I'm going to do all the downs first and then go up last. And then this last one I'll place here so I get prongs. If you don't have prongs, go ahead and put it over to the right one so you get a match of 5. Now sometimes it doesn't work that easy. Sometimes the orbs don't count out right, that you can just decide which way you want to go. In that case, you have to force the matter. You have to pass through the row to change which side it's on. This isn't a very good board to show it to you because I don't have very many red orbs. I have 3, 6 plus 4. But if I were making a row like this, and those are both facing down, if I pass through the row, now they're facing up. And that's how you would change the direction of it. So make sure that when you finish the row and you're doing a board convert, you head into the board and not away from the board into the wall. So I hope you were able to get something from this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe. I'm going to be updating daily and working on different videos on orb tricks, tips, and different strategies for different dungeons, different builds for teams. I got a lot of stuff coming, so please keep checking back. Please subscribe. Thank you so much, guys.